page 14. Cuckoo, Cheating by Nature, by Nick Davies, 2015. 1.1 A Cuckoo in the Nest. Part 1. Is there anything more extraordinary in the natural world? Early morning, a still summer's day in mid-July, not a breath of wind. I'm searching along the edge of a reed-fringed ditch on Wicken Fen, a patch of ancient fenland just north of Cambridge, and Britain's oldest nature reserve. This is a vast, flat landscape. Big skies encircle me to the horizon and reflect in the water below, so sometimes I feel I am floating through the sky itself. The white sails of an old wind pump shine brightly in the sunshine. A marsh harrier appears over the reed tops and drifts close by on upswept wings, a young moorhen in its talons. On the path, there are fresh molehills of black peaty soil, the matted remains of old fen vegetation. The peat is resting on the bed of water and, as I walk along, the ground sways gently below my feet. Just ahead, in the middle of the ditch, a reed twitches. From that exact spot I hear a loud, high-pitched and persistent, quivering call, "Aitsia broken Bartsia broken Bartsia broken Bartsia." I approach slowly and with a long hazel stick, I gently part the reeds. The calling ceases. In the silence, I hear the dew that I have dislodged from the leaves dropping into the water below. Hidden in the darkness, halfway up the reeds, is a reed warbler's nest. It's a neat cup, woven from thin strips of old reed and suspended from 3 vertical stems about a meter above the water surface. Sprawled on top, with its wings draped over the nest trim on either side, is an enormous common cuckoo chick. It is 2 weeks old, fully feathered, and it sits perfectly still, with its bill shut tight, but it is watching me intently through brown beady eyes. I lean out from the bank to get a better look. As I do so, the cuckoo suddenly rears up, its head feathers erect, and it opens its beak wide to reveal its gape, a blaze of bright orange. Then it makes a lunge towards me. Instinctively, I withdraw my hand as if expecting an attack. My heart is beating fast, but then I find I'm smiling in admiration at the cuckoo's show of bravery. We look at each other for a moment, then I withdraw my stick and the reeds spring back, but not completely. Now there is a little gap through which I can watch the cuckoo from the bank just 5 meters away. I sit quietly and focus on it with my binoculars. After a few minutes, the reeds twitch once again and a reed warbler emerges from the forest of reed stems, clinging to a reed just above the nest. It has a bright blue damselfly in its bill. The warbler gazes down and appears tiny next to the monstrous cuckoo chick below, some 5 times the warbler's own weight. The cuckoo immediately begins a frenzy of calling, vibrating its open gape. Without a moment's hesitation, the warbler bows deep into the enormous mouth to deliver the food. As it does so, the reed warbler's head is almost completely engulfed. For a brief moment its small eye lies buried at the base of the gape, right next to the cuckoo's large eye, and the warbler seems to risk being devoured itself. But the warbler withdraws just before the large gape clamps shut on the prey, leaving the tip of the damselfly's abdomen sticking out. Another twitch of the reeds, and the warbler slips off to search for another meal. I am amazed by what I have just seen. Reed warblers have many wonderful adaptations for their insectivorous life in the reeds. They navigate by the stars from their winter quarters in sub-Saharan Africa to breeding grounds in Europe. They must have an excellent memory for local landmarks, too, because adults that I have color-ringed, so they can be recognized individually, return to exactly the same territory each summer. The females select their mates carefully, based on territory quality and song repertoire. Females then build exquisite nests, anchored to the supporting stems with woven strips of reed and spider silk, just the right size to keep a brood of 4 reed warbler young snug and warm, and deep enough to keep them safe as the reeds sway in the wind. The pair then select choice prey items for their young, rejecting prey that are unprofitably small, tiny midges, or too large to handle, large dragonflies. So the warblers are admirably careful in their choice of where to live, who to mate with and what to eat. Why, then, when confronted by a young cuckoo, so different in appearance and far too big to be one of their own chicks, are they apparently so stupid? I am amazed by the cuckoo chick, too. How does this enormous chick stimulate the little warblers to bring enough food? It's now mid-July and all the adult cuckoos left the fen 2 weeks ago. Some may already be in their African winter quarters while their last chicks are still being tended by reed warblers back in Britain. Why do cuckoos abandon their young and entrust them to another species? Page 16.